Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? Welcome back to Pregaming here on Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Rain, sleet, or snow, we stay good to go. And we have been having a good week. In fact, we go back to Friday of last week here. Today would make 7 straight winning days in a row. I'm fired up. I'm jacked up. I got a lot of action. I can firebomb at least another 6-7 spots on this card tonight. I'm that jacked up about this card. Feel really good about it. Think it's a good spot for us to get paid. And we had a big night last night. That's the most important thing, is that we continue to build this bankroll. I love stringing together winning days, man. Who doesn't? Makes it a lot of fun. Tonight's action's going to be fun as well. It's a big hockey card. I came up with 3 games. I think you'll like some of the trends in these games. There's probably, there's a whole bunch of games that I could get you guys involved with tonight. I'll tell you what, the NHL Fade, Project Fade, is on its way as well. 6-1 over its last 2 days. 6-1 is the gem that keeps on giving. 3 plays tonight. 4 plays tonight. We'll see. I don't think I played on any of them tonight. Publicly here. It's kind of a tough way to go. But we're going to go Buffalo, Carolina, St. Louis Capitals, San Jose, Montreal. Then we'll put on the high tops, take it to the hardwood, and we'll go down a pretty good card, I think, in college hoops tonight. Central Connecticut. Yeah, them. Denver, UMKC, the Roos, baby. We'll go Southern Utah, Utah Tech, UCI, and CSF. And they'll bring us home with St. Mary's and Loyola for a little late night special. Then we're going to go and I might add a game. But I'm excited. Here's why I'm excited. I believe tonight opens up the first opportunity for the trifecta over. Excited for it. A little secret recipe I put together. I'm telling you, it went like 72-8. We had like a stretch where it won 29 straight or 30 straight. Unbelievable. So we're going to try to keep it going. Excited for this card tonight. Like I said, there's probably, 1, 2. I'll talk about some of these other games as well. We got a lot to cover. A lot to do, not a lot of time to do it. You guys always know that's the situation when we're rolling here at 6 p.m. We got to get this action in, got to get these bets posted, and then get out there and toast these bookies. So let's go. Let's do just that. Let me get everything in place. Let's just give a quick recap to our day yesterday. Transparency is important. Very important to keep score. Otherwise why play the game? Gotta have the scoreboard. Gotta know if you're winning or losing. I know we're winning. I know it was could have been better. Could have been a better day. NBA, we got the Portland -6. That was the kind of that bounce back spot against that bad Washington team that we know had just come off a big win. Fell into the sink, fell into the pit with Boston -5. They got busted out by 30 or 20. I'll own it. I thought it was a spot that you had to take a shot with. And look, win, lose, or draw. It didn't work out is what it came down to. Didn't work out. Also, we lost to Vanderbilt under in that Texas A&M game. Vandy comes out there and handles them boys. 86-84. I would have thought they would have slowed that tempo down. We did start off the night with a nice big first half win in Auburn against Ole Miss, 50-40. Nice 10-point win on a 7.5 point spread. The Hurricanes, the Miami Heat got the W for us. Is that not the favorite spot? Well, to be determined, because we've got the trifecta over spots that we'll see if those become our favorite. But bounce back revenge, immediate bounce back revenge. Got some big plus money live on that spot. Runs plus 12.5 was look, that one got sweaty. I locked in the 13.5. I wanted to give you guys 13.5. I couldn't get the post tab to work on YouTube. Fortunately, they covered. It was a 12.5. 84-72. They lost by 12. Man, at halftime, they were damn close to tied. The Devils got busted up by Colorado 5-1. A huge third period for Colorado to ruin that game for us. But a big win at the end of the night. The Vancouver Canucks come home with us 3-2 in overtime for a nice plus 150 spot. About 2.5 units of profit on the day there. So, look. In the green. We're in the green. Should have been a lot more. But we'll take it. Listen, any day that we're rolling there. Look, we're having a terrific February. I hate to say that this is going to be our last show day for February. Oh, no, tomorrow will be. Get my head and my butt wired together. Okay, one more day. So, okay, we got more time. Let's see if we can't stack it high. Letter fly. Something you may want to put your eyeballs on is the under in the VMI Sanford game, around 155.5. That game tipped off at 6. Something you may want to put your eyeballs on. You may want to put your eyeballs on Robert Morris and the under 151.5. I think 30. Not going to rush to get those games in. There's some spots that rose to the top. Let's go. Let's have a day. All right, I'll fire it right off the gate. We're just going to move quickly. Got a lot to do. Got to get the F up out of here. Fade plays you're going to be involved with here. If you're following Project Fade, you're going to want Detroit team totals under, Calgary's team total over, Carolina's first period under, and Buffalo Sabres plus 0.5 in the first period. We're moving quickly. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 spots for you. Might as well share them, right? Let's go. Trying to get paid. Want to get paid. Blow up on the Sam offer. So it's going to be a big night tonight, you guys. Let's go. You guys know the deal at the time of the show. Need you to smack that thumbs up button. If you don't like money, you're in the wrong place. If you want to support this community, we need you to do so by smashing that thumbs up button. It helps us promote the show with amongst all those other shows in this YouTube cesspool. We appreciate you guys taking the opportunity to do so. So if you could close the chat, smack the thumbs up. We'll pop the chat back open and go to work. Okay. Rick Chase says, I'll watch that. Hey, bad news. Your boy here, Mikey Money, just forked out a fucking dime on some blower transition unit in my furnace. It's cold. So I've been firing down hot coffee all day. It's 38 degrees outside. It could very easily be 36 degrees inside here. Cost me $1,000. Fucking part's not even going to be here for like 2 more days. So lots of coffee means lots of caffeine means lots of go. But man, that was, look, sometimes things happen in life. There's only so much you can do about it, right? But never happens at a good time. Down piece? Good thing it's been a good week. Shout out to my guy, Redbeard, kicking us off and gifting us with a sports money membership. Redbeard has been on fire. He's been sharing some of those winnings with us on a regular basis. My dude, appreciate you. Redbeard in the house, blessing the action. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Okay. Let's go, Redbeard, my friend. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Looking forward to winning big with you tonight, my guy. Blessing our action before we even push the boat off the dock. Listen to this guy. Look at this guy. Selfish. Leads by example. Building our community. Public. All you get from this guy, positive vibes. content, giving you guys best bets, and sharing his hard-earned winnings as he builds our community. Shout out to Redbeard, my guy. All right, you guys, time to go. Let's go. You know the deal. Grab your pen and paper. The best in the business assemble right here. Thank goodness they do, because sometimes you got to fork out $1,000 on some unit for your furnace. You don't want to, but you have to. So you need these best bets that they share with you guys. And they share with me. Appreciate you guys all coming here. Make sure you put your best bets in the chat. Commenter numero uno. Over. On and over. He likes the Oilers-Panthers first period over 1.5. Jover, we know it's Thursday. What do them cats do on Thursday? But, hey, first period. This is a tricky one. You know, I try not to let my perception influence the reality of how we're going to bet these games. And I think this is a good Edmonton spot tonight. They've stunk the bet up since coming back from the Four Nations Cup. The Panthers are now multiple games deep without Tkachuk, amongst others. I like this Panther spot. But, you know, the science tells me it's Thursday, and for some reason the Florida Panthers like to go under on Thursdays. Edmonton's been in a little bit of a scoring slump. Good luck, Jover. Thank you for sharing, my friend. Gerald Jones. Well, FDU is minus 3.5. My man's rolling 14-9 for us. Bringing in a little Farley Dickinson University. I'm sure it's a lovely campus. Minus 3.5. 14-9 for our guy, Gerald Jones. Thank you for sharing, my friend. Subhumans here. Jerry Davis is ready to go. The damn Kings let me down on my chalk parlay. Oh, bro, we were on Vancouver. I actually fell asleep when they were up 2-0. And I woke up and I'm like, 3-2, all right, we won. And then I saw overtime. I was like, oh, man. Thank goodness I fell asleep. Captain Jackson's here. He says, hey, action. Let's go, my guy. Barry's in the house. Mario Barrios is here rocking. Blake M. You can tell it had a bunch of coffee. I'm fire. Shout out to King. Says, ride the hot pre-game and wave. Let's go. Jerry Davis loves the intro. Appreciate you, Jerry. Peter Grassi is here. He's ready to roll. Says, on fire. Let's go. Stop Geo. Says, good fucking looking tonight. Y'all, let's cash these flips. Joe W's here. David Wallace. Jerry Davis says there's a lot of repetition on this VMI under. Well, it was 155.5. It's 151.5 now. We'll see. We'll keep our eyeballs on it. Yeah, I just fired that off quickly. Project Fade, Calgary team total over, Detroit team total under. Carolina first period under, and the Buffalo Sabres first period plus 0.5. I'm conflicted with those. I mean, you know what I mean. 6-1 in its last 7. That thing's got to be hitting at 80% this month. But again, my heart, not my heart, but my perception. We're going to talk about that Carolina game. I can get down with Calgary's team total under, but that should be an over. That should be a team total over. That's tough. Do with that information what you will. Gotta ride along. If you're riding along, you don't get off the train until it stops. Big Scott likes the Tampa Bay Lightning minus 1.5 and the Islanders money line. Tampa Bay's a great spot. This is where I'm conflicted because a lot of the trends do show the under. And Tampa Bay, we talked about them just the other day. They absolutely locked down Western Conference opponents. That trend's still in play tonight. It hasn't gone anywhere. They just won again. They're still on top of things. Good luck to you, my friend. Big Scott, I like that minus 1.5, though. Kind of does think Calgary might sputter a little bit. Calgary was supposed to sputter the last game for me against the Capitals, and they didn't. So it's a tricky spot. It's a tricky spot. This could very well be, sometimes when I'm on something, it's like I missed it this time, but the next time it cashes. Today would be that next time it cashes. Shout out to Trisha M in the house. Luke Murphy's here, esteemed author. My guy, Luke Murphy. Who knew Luke and I knew some of the same people. Some of the same people back in the old university days. Rick Chase says, I know how to hot wire. Sure, it's the furnace. Yeah, it's the I don't know, blower inducer, something, some fucking part that's about this big and sits in the front and costs $1,000. I wish it didn't, but it does. Peter Gracia, let's roll. Says keep on ripping the book. Irish Kings here. Appreciate Irish Kings showing up. Blake M says suggest you get a desktop heater for backup, cheap and generally warm. Yeah, that's what I got. I got one. It's about yay big. I don't even know where it came from. Jerry Davis likes the Montreal. The Habitants. Team total over. Let's go. You guys ready to roll? Irish Kings got Florida in regulation. Okay. Trap God likes the Pens Flyers over 5.5. The Flyers have been firing. They said they've been getting a touchdown every game since the Super Bowl, and the Eagles got the win out there. Scoring. That was the big focus. That was the big feature. I like the Flyers tonight. But again, we got to go with the trends. We got to go with the best. Let's go. David Wallace went 4-1 yesterday. Gonzo's in the house. Swaggy. What's good? Swaggy? Joe T's coming through with us. Islanders, Bruins over 5.5. 6 straight overs. 5.5 in their head-to-heads. Islanders over 5.5. 5 out of the last 6. Irish King went 3-0 in the NBA and 3-0 in the NHL. Fat-ass bags last night. Good job, dude. Good job. It's fun. So much fun getting in here and getting ready to go. Irish King wants the bread. I got people to feed. Let's go. Trisha M. You had herself a night in the NHL last night. She's parlayed at Jover first period over with the same with the Sabres game. Boost on the Ice Cats for the Florida folks. The fine people of Hard Rock. Jover. Blues Capitals first period over 1.5. Blues 4 of 5. First period over. Caps 7 straight first period overs. Head to head 7 of the last 9 first period overs. Okay. Redbeard will bet the kittens. And Irish King got it before the line moved. Okay. That brings us current. Thank you guys all for sharing. Trap Gods in the house. Says Morgan Geike over 0.5 point. -105. He's been on fire. The Lakers first quarter spread for Irish King. Okay. We gotta go. We got to go. We're going to pop it right off here. Buffalo Sabres. Carolina Hurricanes. Buffalo, of course, just off that big W against the Anaheim Ducks. It's kind of a reverse of roles. Buffalo is one of the best first period teams in the NHL. And somehow the road Ducks, who were profitable, and frankly, they still are, on the road, came out with an early lead. And Buffalo had to come back from behind. They couldn't get our 6, but remember what we talked about. When you're looking at shots on goal props, you want to look at some of these teams that puke up shots. And of course, the Anaheim Ducks was one of those teams on the road. Second most shots on goal allowed, and that probably carries over to home to some degree. We had Tage Thompson as our over shots on goal player, 2.5. He put up about 100. And the Sabres came back for that big victory. Sabres are going to start UPL. Lukinen at 19-16-4 with a 3.0 goals against average and an 89.4% save percentage. And don't look now, but the Sabres have a 2-game win streak. Amazing. Step up in class, maybe not. I mean, yeah, from Anaheim, sure, but look, they handled, they're handling business right now. These Sabres, they are. This is their time of year. They got to make a push if they're going to do just that. And this good time to try to beat these Hurricanes. The Canes are 1-5 in their last 6. Not scoring, not finding the net, not winning games, period. They've been outscored 10-3 in their last 2 games. They're getting busted up. They're going to go to Kochikov. Maybe he's the stopgap. 20-11-3. 2.55 goals against average on the season and a 90.1% save percentage. Clearly, the better goaltender. However, let's not dismiss what UPL's been doing because that Sabres team is just anemic, inconsistent throughout most of the season. Kochikov's looking to bounce back. He let up 4 goals in his last game. It was a 6-3 loss. It was to the Toronto Maple Leafs, however. So if you're looking for a good bounce back spot, maybe the Sabres are that team. They shoot the puck. They don't really find the back of the net too often, so it could be a pretty good spot here. And look, the Sabres, They are finding the back of the net. 11-4. Now, part of that's with when they had that one game, there was like 7 goals in it. So they've been outscoring opponents 11-4, the Sabres. We just talked about this last game. It was 3-2. So think about that. That first game was 8-2. So even though it shows 11-4, you have to dig deeper just a little bit to understand what the hell's going on in this one. And look, what the hell's going on in this one for me is I'm taking the under. This is the trend that we've been riding all season. It's been profitable. It's won 18 straight times. 18 straight. When the previous time they played was a 6 and the game went under, and they make it a 6.5, it goes under. That's it. Simple trend. You already showed us an under 6. Now you're giving us even more value. It's hit 18 straight times. 18 straight times. Trap God says Hartford Whaler jersey night in Carolina. So I sent that around to the boys earlier. Because the Carolina Hurricanes changed their little, Twitter handle. And they were showing that Whalers jersey. So I do like Carolina. Hey, you got to change it up somehow. Might as well get out there, get them boys excited about the jerseys they're going to. I mean, that's great. Why not see them have a good time with it? But I'm still going to go to this under. Not going to 18 straight wins in this thing. We're going for number 19. We'll ride away with the Sabres first full game under, which kind of correlates with what I was looking for there. Carolina's first period under, and I need the under 6.5 in this game. So that'll be game play number 1 as we open up our betting card tonight. We're going to move quickly because it's cold. It's cold. Can't sit in one place too long. Yeah, I thought about both teams to score in first period. I thought about that trend or that spot for that. Let me take a look real quick. I'm saying it out loud. Saying it out loud. Both teams to score. Both teams to score in the first period is plus 150. It's not a bad way to attack it. Both teams to score. If you're going to play the over in the first period, I would probably consider both teams to score. I mean, the over in the first period is minus 145. High probability the Sabres score in the first period. I just mentioned it. They're one of the best first period teams. And we want to fade away on Carolina's first period minus a half. We want Buffalo first period. So it's either going to be 0-0 or 1-1 is what we need in that spot. So if you take the Sabres on the puck line in the first period, it's minus 140. I would play both teams to score and tie no bet in the first period at plus 160 for Buffalo. That would be a nice little way to attack that thing if you're interested. I'm just going to go with the under 6.5. Upon further consideration, if we can get this thing done early enough, maybe I'll jump in and get some action there. All right, game number 2. On our way, St. Louis Blues, the Washington Capitals, Joel Hofer, Charlie Lindgren. Not Thompson, Lindgren. Interesting spot. Hofer's been terrible since January 16th. He's gone 0-3-1 in that 5-game stretch. He's got a 3.03 goals against average, a 90.1% save percentage. Lindgren in the backup role, okay, not great, 12-9-3, which really means he's 12-12. So he's 500, 2.67 goals against average, and 89.9% save percentage. The benefit this guy's got is Capitals have been firing pucks all over the place. Scoring with confidence. I talked to you guys about the way that they're scoring. You know, taking one-timer shots and tic-tac-toe around inside the slots, like disrespectful to the other team out there. And, you know, probably they were due for a loss. I don't want to say that, but 3-1, lost to the Calgary Flames. Gives the opportunity for a little break for the starter, and Lindgren will be the guy that goes in goal. 22 of 25. It was a 7-3 win over the Edmonton Oilers the last time he touched the ice as a starting goaltender. The Blues are on a nice little 2-game win streak as well, but do come in as pretty good-sized dogs. And look, despite this little shortcoming with this Capitals Calgary game, they have found points 5-1-2 in their last 8 games. Short, sweet, simple. We'll keep a brisk pace here. Just fire some plays out here tonight. Save some commentary. One of the best bounce back teams in the NHL are the Washington Capitals. I don't make up the rules. Just tell you the stats. Specifically, home teams bouncing back, great opportunity. When you're the home favorite, you had a bad game, ergo that 3-1 loss to Calgary, and you're playing a bad team. Those teams are 32-9 if you're the home favorite. Bounce back city. You're a favorite for a reason. The Capitals, specifically after a home loss, are 49-27 when they do face that home loss and bounce back. It's all bounce back city here. I'm going to go with the Caps in regulation. One of the queries that I'm working on right now is to determine what the regulation loss rate looks like if you're between -110 and -140. I felt like, my gut tells me those are just losing spots when you're in that range. But, for me in this Capital spot here, I'm picking up the Caps in regulation and I'm getting them at a +102 price tag. So we're not inside that range. See, to me, it kind of says if you're taking the juice down in case you lose, well, then you're not really betting to win. You're just betting not to lose. And if it becomes a coin flip, that kind of makes sense. Like you probably should lose because you're not in this thing for the right reason. But if you can take the risk, now the risk comes in because they're a dog. So if you turn that favorite into the dog in this case by going on that regulation line, theoretically, at least in my head, it says that means that you're higher probability of winning. Even though it's a lower probability of winning because it's a dog, it's a higher probability because you're taking more risk on the chin here as opposed to that -110 to -140. And then you look at it, we saw it the other night with the Winnipeg Jets, -1s, regulation. I mean, it just seems like when they're in that -110 to -140 range, maybe it's -135, because if you take it down to a -150 in regulation, you're still assuming risk if you lose. So it seems like it kind of punches it outside of that zone of, in case I lose, I'm saving some money situation. I don't know if you follow that logic or not, but I'm going to look to prove that theory with some data behind it. But I'm going to go with the Capitals. I got them at a +102. Home bounce back opportunity. Home favorites off a bad game, and they're playing a bad team are 32-9. 27-26 is a bad team. Capitals one of the best in the NHL. We're going to roll on. David Wallace has just dropped to -155 on DraftKings. Russ MMA 02. I'm new. I subscribed. You also friends and family parlay. Sometimes. I give you some player props I'll talk to you guys about. Sometimes we throw the parlays in there. Sometimes we just take big dogs, like here with the San Jose Sharks at a +185. How about that? Look, Montreal, for being 27-26-5, this is seems to me to be the most, either they're the hardest working or they're the most overrated. I can't decide which. I mean, there's a line right down the middle between the two of those spots here. They're going to go to Alexander Georgiev for the San Jose Sharks. And again, this guy's bad, but is he going to be bad all season? He's still in the NHL. 10-19 on the year, 3.77 goals against average, and 87.7% save percentage. Sharks have lost 6 in a row. They're bad. Georgiev, however, and I said this before, he was bad with Colorado. Think about this, though. At the start of the year with Colorado, injury festival. Now, I'm not discounting the fact that he was a sieve, but there were a lot of injuries, including Makar. Up and down the lineup, and they were losing a lot of games. So he gets traded over to San Jose. Decent goaltender, step down in class, and teams start to dismiss the San Jose Sharks because they're just bad, right? They're in a rebuild. Well, since he's come over there, he's playing much better. In fact, his last game against the Calgary Flames, it was a 3-2 loss, but he saved 33 pucks. That was a 91.7% save percentage. Canadians are on a 2-game win streak. No question about it. They're outscoring opponents 9-2 in their last 2 games. And Montevideo comes in here with a 2.97 goals against average and an 89.5% save percentage. Here's where I look back and I say, these guys seem like they're just a little overrated. 297, 89.5. He's 19-21. This is a 500 hockey team. And they're laying stupid numbers because they play well against good teams. You know they don't play well against? Bad teams. Specifically, when the team has a win percentage of less than 30%, that bad team picks up the W 11 out of 12 times. That's happened this season against Montreal. 11 out of 12. You look past the bad teams. Montreal steps up to the challenge. I mean, look at their last. We just talked about outscoring opponents, playing tough teams, handing the Capitals a loss when the Capitals were running red hot. Get in on some San Jose Sharks with me here. It's plus 185. Now, look, you want the safe play? To me, it's not the same. I mean, I'm not going to drop the plus one. I mean, maybe 135 for the puck line for the Sharks, minus 135. I could see a situation where I just think they're going to win the game. To me, it's we just talked about it. It's the spot play. Don't get too cute. Don't give away too much of your edge. Take a shot. Bang them over the head. Cash a big W. Plus 185 for the San Jose Sharks because they're a bad team. What up, Will Domo? Mr. Tomatoes? Appreciate you guys. Ready? Mr. Tomatoes is reporting for duty. So that's it. I'm fading the Canadians. I don't believe in this team. Now, that's not to say that I like the Sharks. And it's not just about the number. It is the fact that there's a bad team, and it's so easy to overlook bad teams, and overall, when you kind of look at the schedule and, look, they're getting ready for a road trip. They just had back-to-back home games. This will be their second back-to-back home game. That doesn't sound right. But they got Buffalo on deck, and they got a back-to-backer against Buffalo. They play them on Saturday. They play them again on Monday. First in Buffalo, then back in Buffalo, then back at home. So you're going to drop out of town for a day. I don't know. It's a tricky spot. I'm going to go with the Sharks. I know that. I'm going to take a shot and fade. What up, Nook? What up? So that's going to be how we get paid in that game out there. Big shot. Hopefully we come through. Hey, we got that big spot the other night. We got home. Got her home for us with a big win. So why not take another run with these boys? They're not done on us yet. They're not quitting. And I like it. I mean, again, I just don't see the value in taking, you got to take your shots, right? That's where it adds up. We talked about this the other day. You lost on those Winnipeg Jets in regulation. You probably dropped 3-1, 3 units. So now you got to win 4 back. But if you're playing dogs, we don't need to hit too many plus 185s to be profitable. What did I tell you guys yesterday? I took those 2, it was 3 games. I took the 2. Should have taken that under Project Fade in that Ottawa game, but I took the 2 big plus money spots, and we hope to get, go 2-0, but we went 1-1 and we ground out a half a unit. It's not pretty, but sometimes you got to take those. You got to take your medicine while you can. Speaking of taking their medicine, now if you guys notice what we're doing, I know Ramon was making fun of me the other day. 10,000 games in college basketball, and you're digging deep into the mid majors that nobody knows about here. But guess what's going to come up next week? Those mid-major nobody knows about schools, and we've been profiling them for 2 weeks. How about that? A little strategy stuck in there? We're going to keep it going. So now when you guys see these games next week and there's not a lot of schedule with the big boys, you're going to go, whoa, wait a minute. I've been on a couple of these teams. I've seen what they do. We've cashed some tickets, or we've torn some tickets up. We're going to pop off with 7 o'clock action. Lemoyne. Welcome to D1 Lemoyne. Taking on Central Connecticut State, the class of the NEW. Lemoyne somehow found themselves 4 wins in conference this year. It's cute. It's admirable. Welcome to D1 basketball. I know some friends that went to Lemoyne, so I can say that. 70% of the bets and 75% of the cash have come in on Central Connecticut. Line's kind of coming down, actually. It was a 13.5, so we're seeing 12s. The total's coming down as well, and you have 74% of the bets and 74% of the cash on the under to see this total dropping. Central Connecticut's on a tear, probably the class of the conference. Here's the good. Let me start with the good. Central Connecticut 7-3 against the spread at home. They're 18-7 against the spread overall. They're just better than almost everybody in the conference. When they're in the favorite role, they're 13-6. And if you make them a dog, you're getting busted up because they're 5-1. They cover spreads. And this number's coming down. So normally we see that as reverse line movement. Are we getting more value? The flip side, here's the bad. The Dolphins are 8-19 against the spread overall. So you got the good, you got the bad, you want the ugly. They're 4-11 against the spread on the road, and they're 6-13 when they're in the dog spot against the spread. They're 4-15 straight up in that spot, and we got a 12-pack. What we do have is look, Central Connecticut is a win one, lose one team. I'd mentioned it's second time through in conference play, so obviously it gets a little bit more difficult. But the only teams that we've seen Lemoyne beat are Wagner and Chicago State. So Chicago State's been an over cash ticket for us, but and it's not like they're playing great teams. The Long Island Sharks, St. Francis, it's a bad team, but maybe they'll figure it out. They're kind of in an intermediary step here with this NEW conference. Bottom line, we're going to lay that point spread. We're going to lay the number. I think I laid 12.5. Let me double check. You can follow my action at BetStamp. Mikey Money. Minus 12.5. I got it minus 106. And here's the deal. Look, Lemoyne, bad. We have intersecting zeros. They're 0-8 when they're a dog of more than 5.5 points and they're playing a team that shoots better than 42.5%. It's their first year in D1 play. That makes sense. You're a big dog and you're playing a team that shoots well. And they're losing those games by over 22 points a spot. Pretty significant bust up. On the flip side, Central Connecticut, standard situation, so just less than 7 days rest. When they played a team that allowed less than 46% shooting their previous game. And they got a total over 127.5. So when the team that they're playing just had a great defensive performance, and now there's a higher total, they get busted up. Central Connecticut finds themselves in a 13-0 position. They're busting opponents up, I should say. That's where we intersect zeros. Lemoyne, as a big dog against a good shooting team, terrible. Central Connecticut, when they play a team that just played a great defensive game, shows them why they're the class of the conference. Lay the 12.5. Take it with me. Let's roll on. Let's keep this thing moving. I like this brisk pace tonight. Lots of coffee in the house for me. Shout out to Old E, gifting us sports money members, gifting, and my man, let's go. Blessing our action. Shout out to you, Old E. Says, cheers, you dirty dogs. Smash the like and subscribe. My man. Thank you, Old E. Remember, since day one, you guys are OGs, Old E. Appreciate you, my brother. Let's go. Thank you much. Blessing our action, building our community. My man, appreciate you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Get you fired up, doesn't it? Doesn't that get you fired up? Shout out to Turnsy's in the house. Got a big 5 unit play on the Oilers. See, I like the Oilers. I like the Blackhawks too, Turnsy. I like all three of them, dude. Vegas has been lucky with their situation and where they're at. And I just mentioned why I think Florida should lose. And to compound that, to Trisha M's point, there's a little boost on him. Shout out to Redbeard. Man, you guys, Redbeard in the house. Gifted another sports money membership, man. Let's go. All right, boys. Oldie, Redbeard. You convinced me it's a cocktail night. It's a cocktail night. Let's celebrate. Jerry Davis says, Long Island slander will not be tolerated. I'm like, hey, listen, I might have a couple dollars on the Sharks tonight. I might have a couple bucks on them. Big Scott likes Tarleton State minus 1.5 and Moorhead State minus 1. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys. Really, that means that, we are viewer supported. So we need you guys, man. We need you to come here. We need you to smash the thumbs up. And we love you guys helping grow our community here. We're doing something, man. Look what we're doing. We're running on top of it. We got ourselves a nice little 7-day win streak going. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Means a ton. Shout out to Big Scott 510 gifted a sports money membership. God damn. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You boys are fired. Shout out to Big Scott 510. Here's what we got. We got a little little happy action for us. Thank you guys, man. Woo! Look at you guys, man. Appreciate you so much. I hope you guys, if you get a gifted membership, pay it forward, man. Get one, give one. Get yourself an upgrade. Go ahead. You want to be involved. We appreciate you guys supporting us. Big Scott says, is the sports money crew going live tonight? I'm going to see what the boys have going on. You know, Razor Sharp has been under the weather. He had a big show today. He sent me a message and said he will not be going live tonight. Peter Gracia with the $9.99 sticker. Man, look at you guys. Cheers. Thank you, Peter. And I see Peter rocking with us here on YouTube today. Peter, you're the man, brother. Appreciate the super sticker. The dono. I gotta write this down. I need a dono button. I keep saying it. I'm slacking. Shout out to you, Peter. Appreciate you, man. All you guys. Thank you guys for your generosity and just being good people in this community. That's what we need. Shout out to Joe W. Appreciate you, my man. Look at you guys, man. What are we grown back girls? Joe W. Appreciate you, brother. Cheers, man. We're parked. We're parked. For my guy Joe W. blessing our action. Peter Gracia blessing our action. You guys love our community, man. Thank you, guys. Man, Joe, respect, my brother. All right, you guys, let me get back to work. We're going to take this reverse line movement here because despite the situation here, Denver and UMKC, we've got 97% of the bets and 96% of the cash on this Denver road dog. 8 p.m. start. Mid-major, middle USA Summit League action. The Kansas City Roos coming in at 11 and 18. The Denver Pioneers at 10 and 19. Suspicion tells me this line was probably just a little overinflated. UMKC 6-4 against the spread at home. Denver 9-5-1 against the spread on the road. They're just a 500 team. Ooh, taste of 99 strawberries and coffee. That's a great vodka drinks all around, Peter. You know it, my guy. It was 99 strawberries. I guess that's vodka, right? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with these little airline bottles. I guess that's vodka, isn't it? It's vodka, right? Technically. I'll tell you what it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be 99. It's got that extra little kick. You know what I'm saying? Just picking up what I'm putting down. All right. UMKC does come in off of a win. They were big dogs against South Dakota State. They lost by a 5-pack. Shout out to T. Moss. Denver, on the other hand, has won 4 straight games. We know how hard it is to get to 5. That's probably, if you look back across college basketball, maybe the loss as a home favorite, on the road as a home favorite, maybe that's number 1. But believe you me, when that team's going for 5 straight wins on the road in this case, that's got to be the number 2 overall biggest fade trend in college basketball. Now, we do see Denver's a good road team, and that's why I said I think this number could have just been a little inflated, and they're bringing it down. But Action Jackson, yeah, I don't know. A buddy of mine dropped off like a full fucking bag of those things, so it's like, oh, all right. Anyways, I'm going to take the UMKC. I'm going to go with the Roos. Again, it's the sharp betting that's taking place later in the day on this team that's not necessarily taking the number back, but let me tell you where you don't want to be. You don't want to be anywhere where 97% of the bets and 96% of the cash are, and the number's coming down. And you know we like to correlate the favorites and the unders. 136.5 on the totals come down to 134.5. And you have 54% of the bets and 54% of the cash on the over. Not a place you want to be. I'll tell you where I want to be. Look at this battle. Again, think about this. Next week, you guys are going to be going, hey, I remember betting on Utah Tech. I remember betting on Central Connecticut. Kind of like Eastern Illinois, but I don't know. I can see it going both ways. I'll tell you what. Eastern Illinois was a first cut pass for me. 8:30 start. Arkansas Little Rock. It is a bounce back spot for Arkansas Little Rock. That's that home favorite, road favorite situation. That's why Eastern Illinois got cut. But there were some numbers showing me that Eastern Illinois should have been the go-to spot. You got 18% of the bets and 59% of the cash coming in on Eastern Illinois. Big money coming in, despite the fact that the public's hammering that Arkansas Little Rock spot. And it is a bounce back. So let me see if I can find those bounce back numbers. I'll share them with you guys. I mean, I talk about the trends when they come up, but it's always nice to see them, like, as we get closer to the end of the year, to see them kind of in aggregate and what it looks like as a whole. So it's like, oh yeah, I do see where that makes sense. And we're getting to that time of the year too, where got to bust out the notebook or in my case, the Google Docs, and start writing down your trends, start writing down the things that work, so that next year when we get into the season, you're not sitting there for 3 months trying to figure it out again, right? So like baseball is going to roll around the corner. It's going to be time to start looking at the baseball notes. What made us jump it on RBIs? All right, 90% of the bets, 90% of the cash are on Southern Utah. Line's gone from +2.5 to +3.5. This one's got 1,928 bets, 1,928 slips. Eastern Washington, Weber State, 1,100 slips. So these games aren't getting a ton of action. Now, on the flip side, Rutgers and Michigan have 17,231 slips. That's why we try to play around with this with these mid-majors, because I think we can find some advantages. And when we've got the sports almanac going for us with the codes that the books are using to write the algorithms to come up with the spreads, I think we can crack those codes. This number's going up as well. 87% of the bets and 88% of the cash are on the under. It's gone up 0.5 point. It's not pretty. Utah Tech 6-21. Should they be laying 3.5 versus 11-16? That is the question. That is the question. Utah Tech struggling mightily, but they do cover spreads at home. They are 7-2 against the spread at home. Worth noting. Southern Utah in the dog roll, 1-14 straight up. 6-9 against the spread. Utah Tech's been losing. Now, here's the thing about Utah Tech losing. They got 3 straight spread covers in a row. They were at the absolute bottom of the barrel. And they played Southern Utah. At Southern Utah, they were 2.5-point dogs. They covered. So now this number at 3.5, a little suspect to me, because after that, they win 2 more games. So if home courts were 3, and they were +2.5, theoretically, they should be right around that 3.5-point range. And that was a tight game that last time out. They don't play much defense. They let scores up like crazy. Overs are nonstop when it comes to Utah Tech. And you look at the team scorings, right? 80 for Abilene Christian. Utah Valley goes out there, puts up a 79. I laugh when I talk about some of these teams because it's like these are bad teams. And somehow they put up 79 points. Cal Baptist throws up an 86 spot. Southern Utah put up 74. I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. It was 2.5-point dogs. They covered. I said that already. Got me confused with this 99 bananas or 99 strawberries. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. I got this team coming off of back-to-back losses straight out in Southern Utah, and they already found it difficult to beat this Utah Tech team the last time around. We got ourselves a little opportunity. Utah Tech has lost 10 straight games outright. 10. 4 of them, they were favorites. Pretty straightforward. They're in that role today. I mean, they're starting to see some 4s out there. You can get a +4 on Southern Utah. The wrong team is favored in this game. It is a Southern Utah spot for me. It's an ugly game. It's an ugly school. I want to get a little bit of eyeball visibility on this conference because, we're going to see these boys pop off next week. We want to be able to get some action on them. We got to start seeing some tape on these guys on what they can do. And Southern Utah is going to be what does it for us tonight. We made some money on Southern Utah. They're not great, but if we find our spots, I think this is that spot. And I think it is that bounce back after back-to-back losses. They know that they played this team hard the last time out there. They almost lost. I don't think they fuck around. They're not going to try to find out. They're going to show them everything they got. 2 more games. Cal Irvine, CSF. I was doing that all day today. This line opened up big for UC Irvine because Cal State Fullerton sucks. 1-15 in the comp. Best first to worst. 82% of the bets, 89% of the cash are banging away on this UC Irvine side. The line's not budging. -17.5. Total's gone from 139.5 to 142. That's reverse. That's a big reverse because you got 92% of the bets and 92% of the cash on the under. Big reverse. I mean, the fact that it's moved 2.5 points with all that steam coming in on all that relative 2,300 tickets again. This is where I live. You know, we'll play some big bombers, you know, but look what happens with the games where we're taking, you know, 6.5s. It moves to 7.5. The game ends up as a 7, and they got 25,000 tickets written on it. This is where we can come in. We have the advantage. The books have to line all these games. We just have to find the spots that we can smack them over the head. UC Irvine, as I mentioned, 23-5, having a hell of a season out there. Kind of quietly plucking away. Fullerton stinks. You know, Irvine on the road. So it's a big number on the road. And sometimes I don't like to get involved in that party, but Irvine's 10-5 against the spread on the road. 15-8 is a favorite. And then Fullerton's only 3-6 against the spread at home. Like if it was a big number and it was home, I might be more inclined to take the first half, maybe. Fullerton sucks. I mean, they lost it. They're losing to everybody. Badly, too. 82-63, 65-49. They could only put up 49 points on UC Davis. 98-83 to Cal Poly. I like Cal Poly tonight, by the way. Cal Poly might make the VIP late card. Cal State Baptist, 91 points they let them scrubs put up on it. I mean, it's ugly. However, we've seen some unders from them boys. 3 of the last 5 have gone under. 2 of the last 3 have gone under for Irvine. Irvine's a little more situated to play some defense. They got beat up by UC San Diego, 85-67, and after that, they took things serious. 62-60, started playing defense. 66-49, playing more defense. They did let it get away from them against Northridge, 84-72, but once they lost, they came back and they started playing defense. 73-64, Cal State Baptist. That's where I'm going with this game. I'm taking this total. Look, big home dogs don't score. How do you define it? 11.5 points to 18 points. So this one's starting to come down. Keep an eye on this, though. If this goes to 19, trend goes out the window. It's come down, though. I saw a 17.5. I'm starting to see 17s and 16.5s. 11.5 to 18-point window. And a total sitting there less than or equal to 155 points. Well, we're right in that wheelhouse. The big home dog does not bite. It's an under. It's 85-43 in favor of the under. It's 7-3 over its last 10 points. We got this perfect spot for Irvine after taking that loss, finding their defense again, getting it back together, and then playing a bad team. And we've seen them shut these bad teams down. I wouldn't be mad at anybody that wanted to look at a team total under for Fullerton. 62.5. The only thing that kept me off of that is they're the home team. You know, we don't. If they got 64, you know, we're in the vicinity of trouble. Irvine gets 78. It's 14 points they don't cover. I don't even want to put that in the ether. 85-43 to the under, 7-3 in its last 10. Last game in college hoops for you guys. Coffee and 99 strawberries. Ugh. St. Mary's, Loyola Marymount. This is the late night special. And they will shine their light on us. Number 23, St. Mary's comes in, gets their earning of the number 23 by way of what happened with the Zags. 12.5, stays at 12.5. In fact, a little bit of late pressure. Now, I say late pressure. This game's only got 5,780 tickets on it right now. But it is 11 p.m. Eastern. So there's going to be time for this game to start to mature a little bit. I don't necessarily like to jump into these games too early, unless there's something so glaring to me that I got to take advantage of it while we can. And I think we can. 87% of the bets, 87% of the cash are on St. Mary's. The total started at 131.5. It's gone to 133.5. And we have 88% of the bets and 88% of the cash on the over. The problem with the general betting public in this case here, and I don't know if it's general betting public. I don't know how many people do the research. St. Mary's was a 6.5 point dog against the Zags, and they won outright. I think somebody asked me about that game. And I was like, why are you going to bet on that game? There's a lot of other games out there, and it's so hard to find an edge with those Zags. And they ended up losing that game outright by 7 points. It's St. Mary's and how inept this team has been historically after the Zags. And why? Well, if the Zags are the top of the trot and you give them everything you got, you're gassed. And you're kind of taking a little bit of a victory lap, right? You're taking your eye off the prize a little bit. Meanwhile, you see over here on the other side of things, Loyola just comes off 3 straight losses, and they bust up Pepperdine. But it was 93-82. We see what happens when they let up an 80 spot plus. They go back out and they play some defense. And that's exactly the way I'm attacking this game. I mean, St. Mary's finally gets the ranking, top 25 ranking. They're on the road. They're probably going to have to be somewhat on the discipline side of things. I just know that they gas. They're gassed every single time they finish a Gonzaga game. They end up losing those games more often than not. They're certainly not covering the spread. So, yeah, I think we do have a situation. I don't know about a live dog. 12.5 points is a lot of points. But I do know I like the under. And I double dipped this under. I took the first half under and the full game under. Because they don't score. And we got this thing inflated. It's gone up 2 more points. I bet you by the time we get tipped, this comes back down a little bit more. I got the 62.5 for the first half under. And $133 for the full game. 62.5 first half, 133 full game. How about that? Putting the kahunas on the line with an 11 p.m. That means I'm going to be up late watching that puppy. Let's go. I got 2 NBA games for you guys. I'll give you some thoughts. I think Orlando Magic are a live dog in this spot. No action for me on this game. My first game will be Denver and Milwaukee. But this one starts at 7 right now. 76% of the bets and 73% of the cash have come in on the Warriors. The line's gone down from 5.5 to 4.5. And we see the Magic number has gone from 209 to 212 at 89% of the bets and 91% of the cash on the over. I know the new blood in the locker room. You know, Jimmy Butler. I get it. I totally understand why people are getting involved with this team. Again, I'm always for the sake of changing shit up to change shit up. Change the blood. Change the juju. Find a trading partner that's comfortable with that and try not to take advantage of each other. And, you know, the Golden State Warriors got Jimmy Butler. I'm surprised Draymond hasn't punched him in the face yet. But it is what it is. When you got a total that's under 229 and they won by more than 25 points the last game, the Warriors find themselves 0-9-1 against the spread. Not making it up. I'm just telling you guys how I see it. It's not even how I see it. It's just the reality. Now, the problem I have is there's a counter narrative to that. And this is why I ultimately stayed off this game. By the way, Sharp Action, Respected Betting are on the Orlando Magic. That Sharp Better report that I talk about from time to time is lit up with the Orlando Magic. And I think a lot of it has to do with that. I mean, look, they just came out there. Orlando ranks first in the NBA in points allowed per game, though. So that's a little bit of a challenge. We'll see if they can keep it down. That, you know, when they're at home, we talked about it. When they're at home, they play these under festivals and slow this pace down just a little bit. They're also 18-12 at home. So, you know, for what it's worth, they're 10-20 to the under at home. Again, the problem I have is this double 20s. When you're playing a team that lost by 20 and you won by over 20, you end up winning those next games. Kind of like a bad team keeps rolling downhill. Bad rock keeps rolling downhill. Kind of to that degree, but not against anybody that wants to get involved on that side of things. I went Nuggets and Bucks for 2 reasons. 1, it's a nationally televised game, and 2, the much better, far superior roster exists on this Denver Nuggets side of things. This went from -3 to -3.5. You got 50% of the bets and 58% of the cash on the Nuggets. Total's not moving. It's pretty split. I mean, 56% of the bets and 52% of the cash are sitting there on the over, and it ain't moving. So Coin flip to the total, probably would be inclined to lean to the over in this one here. But look, the Nuggets come in rested. They had 2 days. And should be a battle. It's bottom line. And there's not enough troops in the Bucks roster, in my opinion, to match up with this Denver Nuggets team. Yeah, I mean, we know the likely candidates out there, or should we say suspects when it comes to these boys here. Giannis, of course. Dame time, yeah. But Bobby Portis being kind of that missing wheel. Bucks coming off a loss. They lost 197 to Houston. That was the shit show because 2.5 early swelled to 3.5 and then ended up being 3 on the dot. So it's like you got to get in early on some of those spots or you're screwed. And the setback for the Nuggets came at home against the Lakers, and then they came back on the road and they took it out on the Pacers. The Nuggets have been rolling 4-1 in their last 5 overall straight up on a low number. When I talk about the firepower, yeah, you got Jokic versus Giannis. Okay, kind of. But I kind of think it ends there. I mean, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. is probably going to go off tonight. Aaron Gordon, and don't forget, Christian Braun's our dude. Russell Westbrook. This is going to be an ugly, ugly spot for this Bucks team tonight. Also, if you want something more than just my color commentary on why I don't think this team matches up versus the other team in this point, it's the road favorites versus non-con. It's a problem. If you're a road favorite against a non-conference team, it's for a reason. 54-27 are those teams against the spread. 54-27. I mean, that's our 2-1 edge that we're looking for on the nuts. And when you're playing teams that don't cover, when you're non-con and you're playing a team that's less than 50% against the spread, that is the Bucks. That are the Bucks. Those non-con favorites are 137-48. Whoa. Almost 100-game advantage in favor of a team in the Denver Nuggets, who I just told you the Bucks can't match up against these boys. So we'll see what happens. They'll have to take it to the court. It's 8 p.m. It's a spot I want to get invested in. I'm going to pop them over the head. Simple as that. Nasty Nate says, it's the late nights. I remember Nasty Nate sending me those messages from the bar. The dudes playing the late night special. Rick Chase says, Irvine got embarrassed at home. Sorry, guys. I was running through this stuff pretty quickly. So, shout out to Ramon Scott, my partner in crime. Kicks the day off for you at 9 a.m. with the morning steam. And then he hosts a show with VB MMA Picks where they give you 3 best bets for the UFC. You got to check that show out on Tuesdays. We got 7 UFC bets out there now. At least a 7-pack for you guys to go check out for the card this weekend, UFC Vegas 103. That starts at 4 p.m. We'll be live at 3:30 p.m. And we already gave you a 7-pack, so half the cards there. And by the way, Sub and I were taking some plus 2,000s today. I got another plus 650. Just dropped down to minus 115. More action firing. We've got the UFC playbook. If you guys haven't seen that out there, it is available on the community post. I'll repost it again tonight so you guys can get your hands on that. See what we have. Early breakdowns. Jeff's got some action in there. Jim's got some action in there. Sub's got some action in there. I do not yet, but I will tonight. And we're just going to continue to build up momentum as we get to the weekend. I'm going to go to this Lakers and Timberwolves game. Finished off the night. This is the secret sauce. We're going to put it to the test here. It's the trifecta over. Now, I'm not going try. I'm only going dual fecta. I got 2 plays in this game. How about that? And they're both focused in on the first half. So what we got here is this Timberwolves team that opened up as 4.5-point dogs. They've moved to 5.5 points. You got 73% of the bets and 74% of the cash. Now think about what we talked about, where we're giving plays with there's 1,900 tickets. This thing's got 29,600 tickets written on it in the sample. Shout out to Justin McKelvey. Sports money is money. Goddamn right. Appreciate you, Justin. 4.5 to 5.5 with 73 and 74% of the cash. So it's moving in on the Lakers' direction. And you got this 224 has gone to 228. 88% of the bets and 86% of the cash. Not going to get into all of the secret sauce. We're just going to test this thing out here. This is the first game that I've seen the opportunity present itself. Basically, what this comes down to is if you're trending to the over and you're at home for the third time a team's beaten you, or facing a team for the third time and they've beaten you twice already, it goes over. There's a little bit more to it than that, but that's just kind of high level for now. And what it does here, now this line's moved. I know Ramon talked about this morning, so shout out to the morning steam. This line's coming 4.5 points up. So I didn't mess with the full game. The trifecta over, technically, is that losing team gets that first half team total over, the first half goes over, and then the full game goes over. Not going to get involved with the over 4.5. I already double dipped the unders on that Loyola game. So because of the time slot and where we're at this thing here, I'm still going to get involved. It's just going to be, I'm going to take this first half over and the first half team total over for the Lakers. Kind of fits, right? I mean, look at what they've been doing. Fucking Luka pulling off the triple-double the other night. The first half team total for the Lakers was 57.5 at minus 107. And the first half over is 111.5. So we're just a little bit better than half the number from where this line swelled to. And that's good enough to put me in the game. So straightforward, simply put, right at the buzzer here, a couple minutes over the wire for you guys. But that's going to be the way that we do it. We're going to cap her off with the Lakers first half team total over and the first half over. We'll put this in test. I got to make sure that this is officially the formula before we start launching it and going crazy. But this thing had a ton of success. It's that time of year. Trends start adding up. We start having the analytics to make those informed betting decisions, and that's what we do here. Appreciate all you guys that came through with us. Shout out, man. I think we had a record number tonight. You boys are kicking. Redbeard gifting 2 Sports Money memberships. Old E in the house gifting a Sports Money membership. Big Scott 510 gifting a Sports Money membership. Excuse me, Redbeard 3 gifted Sports Money memberships. My guy Redbeard in the house. Joe W gifting a Sports Money membership, and Peter Grazia with the $9.99 super sticker. Thank you guys all so much. That means a ton to us as we continue to grow. We appreciate you guys helping us grow this community, being here on the regular, smashing that thumbs up button, and supporting everything we do. I know you guys check out those videos. Comments are so big in those videos to help us. We appreciate you guys gifting. And it doesn't take much at all just to go out there and give a thumbs up and put a comment out there that says good luck or a play that you like. And you can do that in this video here tonight. So thank you guys all again so much for the opportunity to get in front of you guys and share these plays. We've had a great week going so far. Let's keep her rolling. Let's stay high on the hog. Let's get this money. Good luck to you guys all tonight. Have a great evening. I saw the request for the outro. I was on top of that AOD. I'll give it to you guys. Good luck, everybody. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Rain, sleet, or snow.